Chapter 24. Money in Amusements. Money in fun, salary of a star, a fortune in a parlor match, a pianist who got $2,500 a night, how to get a start on the stage, a new field for the amusement artist, humor and hard cash in shadographs, what Max Aurel earned on the lecture platform, money in the traveling show, the greatest money burning in the United States, fortunes in fireworks. People who cater to public amusements are so many, their entertainment so diverse and their talents so unequal, that no general statement can be made about the remuneration for this kind of work. There are stars at the top who receive from $200 to $1,000 per night, and there are mediocres, or worse, at the bottom who barely eke out a living at $7 a week. No one should enter this field unless his talent is equal to his ambition. Here are a few of the prizes taken before the footlights, 867. The Farce comedy. Evans and Hoey purchased a comedy entitled A Parlor Match. Mr. Evans says, "We played it over 3,000 times, and at a rough estimate I think we must have cleared from $300,000 to $400,000. 868. Instrumental concerts. The possibilities of dollars in instrumental music are seemingly unlimited. Celebrated pianists have received almost fabulous sums. Rubinstein's 6 months tour in America is said to have netted a profit of $60,000, and a second engagement was made for him at the rate of $2,500 per night. 869. Stage stars. The stage, like every other profession, is crowded at the bottom, but has room at the top. Beginners seldom get more than $15 per week, and commonly they receive much less. Leading people in road companies get $50 per week. Stars receive from $100 to $500 per night. Madame Celeste made $50,000 in this country. Edwin Forrest never received less than $200 per night. Edwin Booth sometimes played for $500 per night. 870. Popular lecturers. These are richly rewarded for their hour or two of entertainment of an audience. John B. Gough's price was $200 per night. Henry Ward Beecher, Wendell Phillips, and Bayard Taylor averaged the same figures. The receipts for Professor Tyndall's 35 lectures in this country were $23,100, and Max Aurel earned $5,290 by his lectures during a single week in Johannesburg, South Africa. Says a magazine note, money-making's most promising field is that of a popular lecturer. 871. Hand shadows. Here is something new. Some amusement artists in England have conceived the idea of entertaining audiences with hand shadows. A candle, an oil lamp, or an arc light is used, and the beam of light passes through a small circular opening upon a sheet of ticketwriter's Holland. Sometimes a pipe or a piece of cardboard is used to heighten the effect, but for the most part the artist employs his hands only. With diligent practice the most comical effects, such as dressing for a party, the dog fight, etc., can be produced. Mr. Devant, the originator of the shadowgraph, convulses his audiences and reaps large profits for himself. America, where the humorous is quickly and keenly appreciated, offers a large field for this new kind of entertainment. 872. Museum and circus. The vocation of the popular showman is a highly paying one. It appeals to two of the most powerful motives of human nature, the desire to be amused and amazed. P. T. Barnum made and lost 2 or 3 fortunes. Bailey, the successor of Barnum, and Dan Rice have also conducted highly successful shows. Dime museums in large cities often pay vast sums for curiosities and monstrosities, and still conduct a very profitable business. 873. Gymnasts. Athletes need to begin early in life in order to acquire suppleness of muscle. There is no profession that demands a severer training or regimen. A vast number of performers are constantly traveling through the country. Engagements with companies are made on exhibition of skill. Managers are always on the alert for something new. Some equestrians receive as high as $500 a week for self and horses, clowns often receive $100, rope walkers, $50. 874. Opera singers. Voice, gesture, grace, and beauty are the 4 qualities of success in the opera artist. Those who succeed receive princely sums for their services. Mario got $400 a night in Philadelphia. Timberlake, every time he sung a high note, demanded $500. Piccolomini cost her manager over $5,000 a month. Madame Perrer received $14,000 for the season. Genius and hard work are nowhere better paid than in the opera. 875, Mimic Battles, Payne's fireworks at Manhattan Beach, reproducing the capture of Manila and the fall of Santiago, have been immensely popular, sometimes drawing crowds numbering 10,000. $1,000 worth of fireworks and papier-mâché are burned in a single night during the season, but enormous as are the expenses, we are informed that the proprietor seldom makes less than $500 a night. There is no patent on these exhibitions, and they may be repeated or imitated anywhere. A man who dares burn money in this way, or a stock company where the individual risk would be comparatively small, exhibiting these fireworks in all our great cities, would certainly reap handsome gains. Especially at this time, while the fervor of patriotism and the glow of enthusiasm over our recent victories are still at white heat, the enterprise could not fail to be paying. We would almost guarantee that a company which could set up as brilliant an exhibition as Payne's in 50 leading cities would realize 25% on the investment. 876, Theatrical Enterprises. Running a theater is risky business, it has its ups and downs, and the downs are as swift as the ups. Oscar Hammerstein, who has just lost all by an unsuccessful venture, says that once during the short period of 4 weeks he made $60,000. Daly, Frohman, Lester Wallach, and many others have grown rich in the theatrical business. 877, Dancers. Members of the vaudeville are not so well paid as in many other arts for amusing the public, but special dancing artists sometimes receive almost fabulous sums. Famous dancers have received as high as $10,000 in the course of a season. Frida Maloff, the Turkish dancer, has just returned from the Klondike, where in the course of a few months she has made $62,000 in her profession, the miners literally showering her with nuggets. 878, Moving Pictures. This latest and most popular form of amusement is coining money for the owners of the cinematograph, biograph, vitascope, or by whatever other name the instrument is called, which causes the scenes portrayed on canvas to be instinct with moving life. The charge for an evening service is commonly $50. 879, Band players. Band players get from $1,000 to $5,000 a year, according to proficiency. Sousa, the leader of the celebrated band by his name, received $6,000 a year. There are always openings for good band players. 880, Impersonators. Dickens will probably always be the great resort for this class of entertainers. Of 7 leading impersonators now on the platform, for portray his characters almost exclusively. It is a fine field for the elocutionist who has talents for mimicry. The average charge is $25 per night. 881, Ancient Burlesques. There are at least 3 forms of this amusement which are having great success. They are the village choir, the old folks concert, and Aunt Polly Bassett's singing school. The last named has often cleared $100 in a single evening. 882, Reciters. Reciters and readers, from Dickens to Hall Caine, have always been popular. The highest paid are well-known authors who read from their own writings. Charles Dickens seldom received less than $200 an evening. But the majority are glad to get engagements at from $10 to $25 a night. 883, Bell ringers. The discovery that many objects in nature could be made to give forth musical sounds has vastly widened the field of entertainment. Rocks, steam pipes, tumblers, and dinner bells have been drafted into service, the last named with notable success. In one company, 4 young ladies have charmed the public ear with the melody of a score of handbells. They have reaped rich harvests all over the country. 884, Magicians. This field has been somewhat overworked of late years, but the phenomenal success of such men as Blitz, the ventriloquist, and Hermann, the prestidigitator, show the possibilities in this line. Both these men bewitched the public for a whole generation, and made great fortunes. 885. Storytellers. This is a late revival of a form of amusement as old as the times of Homer. Those succeed best who are authors as well as elocutionists, making their own story and telling it fresh from the heart. We predict that this kind of entertainment is going to have a great run, and persons who have talent in this line will do well to furbish up their weapons. 886. Cartoonists. Cartoonists and crayonists receive high figures for their work, as this kind of talent is rare. The chief of this class of artists received from $50 to $150 per night. Since his death, no worthy successor has been found, but there are many young fingers that are clever with chalk, and there is room for more. It is a very inviting field for persons who have the right gifts.